What does Megan Thee Stallion's Vedic Astrology chart say about her trauma, and how well did she do on Saturday Night Live? Let's talk about it. Hey girl, this is your business spirit guide. I post videos about hot topics and connect them with Vedic astrology, branding, and health advice. If you think you would enjoy that type of content, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and click the notification bell. Alright, let's jump right in. I'm going to review Megan hosting and performing on SNL and explain some of her trauma by looking at her moon chart and her birth chart in Vedic astrology. So let's get started with the monologue. In her monologue, she talks about getting her degree in health administration, which makes sense because her moon, which is the nurturing healing mother or the nurse, is in healing Leo in her 5th house of education in her birth chart. Then she talks about her website, badbwordshavebaddays2.com, where she offers resources to people who struggle with their mental health. I love that in her monologue, she didn't address anything that has to do with Tory Lanez. I love that she didn't address anything that has to do with the baby. I love that she didn't address the robbery that she actually experienced right before she went on SNL. I love that she just kept it light and she kept it cute and she kept it funny. I love that she didn't let any of the controversies or any situations surrounding her take the spotlight off of her. This is her moment on SNL as hosting. She's been a performer on SNL before. When Chris Rock was on there and it was like, let me see the bottom of your face. When they was doing, that's when the pandemic first came on and she did that song. This is her first time hosting on SNL and she just let it be about her and not the situations that are surrounding her. So I really like that about her. After that, I think the song was We Got Brought. This song addresses social anxiety and I could really relate to it, and I love Ego and Bowen Yang in skits. I love those two cast members. I like when they got stuck in that, that's crazy, it's crazy, so crazy, you know. I love that loop that they got into. If you don't understand, just check it out, you'll understand. If you have social anxiety, you'll really understand. The next sketch was with Keenan and it was with the deer, and it was really, it was so funny, and I do not blame Megan for breaking. She did really well on this one too. Next was the skit Girl Talk, and it was cute. I liked it. It was cute. I don't have much to say about it. It was just cute. After that, there was a Please Do Not Destroy sketch about wellness and how the pandemic affected our overall wellness. Megan wasn't in this sketch, but I think they were still trying to stay in alignment with Megan's brand by talking about wellness. I didn't include any pictures about this sketch because Megan wasn't in it, but I do believe that they were trying to stay in alignment with her trauma zine, mental health, mental wellness type the deal she had going on there. Next, Megan switched from hosting and acting to performing and doing her. And the first song that she did was Anxiety. In Anxiety, she talks about sending a message to her mother, who was also a rapper. Megan's mother taught her how to rap, and sadly, she passed away right when Megan was getting famous. When I saw Megan was fighting tears, I started fighting tears. You could tell that she was really speaking from her heart. So in your chart, you can really understand your mother by understanding your moon placement, where the moon is in your birth chart. And Megan Thee Stallion's moon is in the nakshatra or constellation called Maga. And Maga is ruled by Ketu, the south node of the moon. And Megan lost her mother and her grandmother while she was in her Ketu Antardasha in 2019. Now the moon represents your mother and it represents your grandmother. She lost both of them. And Ketu cuts things off. It makes us feel separated. It separates us. And Megan, during her Ketu Antardasha, which is a sub-time period in Vedic astrology, that tells us what's going on in our lives right now. When she was in her Ketu Antardasha, she got separated from her mother and her grandmother. And they passed right before, like right when she was taking off. They got to see a little bit of the success, but they didn't get to see everything. K2 is very karmic. K2 and Rahu, the north node and the south node of the moon, they are very karmic. And to me, this was definitely karmic. Like her mom's karma was to give her daughter the tools to make her famous. And then once she became famous, it's like her mother's work was done. It's like her grandmother's work was done. So you might say, well, like, why are you saying this? It's because K2 represents our ancestors. And MAGA is in Leo. Leo is a performer. Leo loves to be on stage. Leo loves to express itself creatively. And Megan's mother did what Megan did before she did it. And in this lifetime, I believe, so she could teach Megan how to do it right now. I just wanted Megan to know that with the placement she has in her chart, that her mom and her ancestors are there and have been there. Her mom and her ancestors have been helping her, especially when it comes to her success and her career. Now, in Megan's moon chart, and a moon chart is when you take your moon and then you put it in, you make it the first house. So going by her moon, her first lord is in the 7th house. This means her life is focused on contracts and ego battles. And we see this play out in the media. We see this with her relationships with Tory Lanez and her best friend Kelsey. And we see this with the baby. And we see this with, Megan's relationship with Nicki Minaj. And we see this with her contracts that she's been trying to get out of with Carl Crawford, allegedly. All this is allegedly. And we see these situations are traumatic for her. These relationships, these contracts. The good thing for her is that she is in her reverse nodal return. And this reverse nodal return is happening in her 1st and 7th house in her birth chart, and in her 3rd and 9th house in her moon chart. This means that whatever is keeping her life and purpose off track or out of alignment is being moved out of the way. Saturn in her birth chart also has a 7th aspect on her moon, and when Saturn aspects the moon, it could cause you to restrict your emotions. And I think she was restricting her emotions for a while because people were saying, okay, Megan, I like your music, but we want to know more about you. You don't talk about you enough. So in Traumazine, I believe she talked more about her emotions, more about her feelings. But I think everything that has happened to her has showed her that it's really good to express your emotions, especially if you do it in a way that's creative and if you do it in a way that's disciplined. Okay, she is 27 and she recently had her Saturn return when Saturn was in Aquarius. And that affected her moon. And that could have been traumatic for her as well. And all this I'm saying is connected to her moon and trauma because your moon represents your emotions. Megan stayed on brand with this hosting of SNL and performing on SNL. And I was really proud of her by, she didn't just throw what she stood for to the side just for the sake of making some funny sketches. I felt like I could see where she was really trying to stay on brand with these sketches, because the next sketch that she did after the anxiety song was a workout sketch where I feel like she promoted body positivity. Megan did well in this sketch too, and I think if she wanted to actually make a workout, she could do well because she has retrograde Mars as her Atma Karka, which represents her purpose. It's also the ruler of her birth chart, Mars is. And Mars represents strength and Mars represents activity. So if she wanted to make a workout video, if she wanted to make I'm about to be 40 in a couple weeks, so I'm talking about workout videos. But if she wanted to release some type of workout something, then I think with Mars as her Atma Karka and chart ruler representing her purpose and her life she could do well at it. Next, she did Plan B and NDA. And that was cute. I liked it. Then they did an ex-boyfriend sweatshirt skit, and that was cute. Then they did a school sketch with Ego, and that was funny. Okay. Yeah, I like that she stayed on brand. Taking care of yourself. She's been talking about wellness. She's been talking about healing from trauma. And I like that she made it clear that after SNL, she was taking a break because of her recent robbery. And, wellness and healing from trauma and all that stuff, it's important to know when you need your rest, when you need to chill, when you need to recuperate. So I'm glad that she's practicing what she's preaching and also staying on brand with her actions and the way she's showing up in the media. That's all I wanted to say about Megan. But if you're a woman who needs clarity and direction for your business or career, my career astrology and tarot reading will answer your career questions with a detailed tarot spread that is customized for your specific career needs and a deep dive into your Vedic astrology chart. If you feel this reading would be helpful for your brand, use the link in the description to contact me so we can talk about how we can help you. That's all I have for now. Talk to you next time.